And this is Auntie. And I wanted to come out and talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here and for joining the channel. I really do appreciate you all. It's been a lot of you all. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled by your presence. And to all of my nieces and nephews who've been with me for the long haul, thank you so much. Um, I want to go ahead on and get into a little bit of dialogue and discussion about the Real Housewives of Potomac. I have been watching this show for quite some time and I've never really done a review on it. But the things that have been going on lately are right up my alley, okay? And so I just wanted to, just talk about it just a little bit. I'm not going to go line for line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. I'm not going to do all of that. I just want to talk about just a couple of things that just kind of stood out to me about this particular episode, and I'm hoping that I can encourage and give somebody wisdom for their own particular relationship if they're going through this kind of stuff. I know that in about 45 minutes or so, we're going to be looking at Married at First Sight. I never look at Married at First Sight with commercials. Never, ever, ever, ever do that. And so if you want to go ahead and watch that, I understand. Don't forget when you come into the room to hit that thumbs up button to let me know that you are here with your auntie. Also, just as far as house cleaning is concerned, I was out there on the Cozy Corner today. I have a new Facebook page and it is under my alias name, Keisha Brown. So if you get a friend request from Keisha Brown, that's your girl. So anyway, what I wanted to discuss, and I had a thumbnail all together, and of course, YouTube is acting crazy, so it didn't even allow me to upload it, was Miss Ashley and her mother. We opened up this particular episode just kind of pretty much where we left off at, with Karen Huger sitting at the table, basically lying to her girlfriends, just talking out of her ass. And it's okay if that's what she feels like she has to do. A lot of people, in the past episode, when we first started off this season, we saw that Karen Huger husband is $1 million in debt with the Internal Revenue Service. And why it's very easy for us to judge Karen Huger's husband and say, oh my God, he owed taxes and woo-de-woo-de-woo. We all, as just regular citizens, human beings of the United States of America, run from that damn man every year. And April 15th, or today, April 17th, is usually the day that we praying that, we got somebody to, do our taxes to make sure that we got something back. So owing taxes to me is just not a big deal. And I know that for some people, it's $1 million. But you know what? One of the things that Karen Huger said that I found to be the truth is that you have to make millions to owe millions. And so for us, we may owe $300 or $400, but you know what? It's not a situation where we cannot, as citizens of the United States, understand that, you may end up having some tax problems from here to there. You know what I'm saying? Sometime in your life, you just might have that. So, I'm not here to judge Karen Huger. I think that her husband, Ray, that he is one of those type of guys who would not tell his wife what is going on with him. I just see him as being one of those kind of guys that just not going to tell her. He's going to keep her in the dark. She's been married to this man 20 years plus, and, she still has a separate bank account. So, you know what? I think that is the order that they have established in their household, and you know what? That's their business. I don't give a rat's ass. You know what I'm saying? They're not paying none of my bills over here. I wish they would, but they're not paying any of my bills over here. So how they run their household and they run their bank accounts, whether they be joint or they be, do it together, it's neither here nor there. Where I think that Karen Huger made the mistake is when she decided to have a press conference. You know, you have a press conference to sit out there and say exactly what it is that you want to say, but you don't want anybody else to say what they have to say about that. Karen, sit that ass down, okay? You bring the girls out there who have no good intentions. I don't care how good they act like, oh, I'm her friend and I understand and all of that kind of stuff. Not one of those people, hi, not one of those people really care about Karen Huger. And the thing about it is, for Robin to be the way that she is, about this situation, she ought to be ashamed of herself. I mean, like, for real. Like, we find out in this particular episode, episode 3, that when they lost their money, this was because of a bad decision she made, that she roped her husband in. And then you got the nerve to be looking at, Ray, the Black Bill Gates, or Uncle Ben, or whatever, you want to call him. You have the audacity to say something about him when you squandered all of your husband's money. And now, you're divorced and you're living in a household with him. And, here's the thing. I had a conversation with someone about this earlier, okay? And y'all know that I am like an advocate for women being women. I am one of the biggest advocates for that, because I do believe that a woman is basically the rib in the right hand of her husband. I truly believe that. I don't believe that there's anything wrong with being submissive. I do believe that there's something wrong with being a slave and being dominated. But I do believe that submission is one of the sexiest things that a woman can do. And to understand and respect your man and to honor him and to uplift him, I think is one of the most honorable things that we can do as women in relationships. I think that, the younger generation has kind of walked away from that. And you see, women on the street and they cursing their man out, or, emasculating him in restaurants or in tough situations and stuff like that. And I think it's a shame. I think that more older women should come out and have a voice. And I know it's not popular. It's not popular to say that it's beautiful to be and it's honorable to be submissive to your husband. Submission does not mean that you are enslaved. It does not mean that you are the lower and you are less than. Submission, when used the proper way, will absolutely bring you security and love in your relationship, honor, respect, and trust. Now, if you just got a slimy man and he's just a slimy man, period, it doesn't make a difference how submissive you are. If he's slimy, he's just an ass, just gonna be slimy. But I think that if you get a good man to start off with, a man who's honorable and who's respectable, who is a one-woman, man, and respects his family and all of that kind of stuff, then you know what? It's nothing wrong with being submissive to him and helping him through life. When God created Eve, for all of you all who believe that, when God created Eve, he created Eve as a helpmeet to Adam. He created her as a woman that would help him go to the tree of life. Instead, she ate the forbidden fruit and took him to the tree of death. He had life and life more abundantly. He didn't really have to toil. He named the animals. God trusted him with everything. He trusted him with everything that he created, even a woman. And Adam allowed that woman to beguile him. And then when he stood up there and before God, and God said, Adam, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? First of all, he lied. Then second of all, after he lied, he sat up there and said, you know what? The woman that you gave me is the one that did it. No, you have to take responsibility for your stuff. And men have to take responsibility for their things, but we can't be women who enable them, and we can't be women who bring these men to the tree of death. Having said all of that, I watched Robin's interaction with her husband. I've always been very curious about Robin and how she could be with this man who basically does not appear to have any love or any respect for her. And one of the things, when she was standing in the garage, the 3rd episode, and she was talking about, the deal gone bad and all of this kind of stuff, and whatever. Her husband, her boyfriend, I don't know what to call them. Her ex-husband really wasn't listening to her. And, the thing about it is he told her in that same conversation, I told you. I told you not to do that, and you did it anyway. And as I was talking to someone today, that really stood out in my mind, because to me, when your husband suggests that you do something, and whether you like it or you don't like it, you should at least consider it. If she had not made the moves that he told her not to make, then they would be financially and probably in the same state that they were in. But because this woman decided that she wanted to be the head of the household, now let me tell you something. You can disagree with me all you want to, but you're going to have to disagree respectfully, okay? I appreciate all your comments or anything that you have to say about this, but if you disagree with me, please do it respectfully, because I am talking respectfully and I expect to be respected. Okay? So, okay. Geek. So, if she had honored her husband as the head of the household, as the king of her home, as she would not be in this predicament. She wouldn't be. Because her husband had told her, during the time that they were married, don't do it. And so this is something that she decided to do anyway. And now here it is, years later, you're sleeping in this bed with this man. You have this loveless relationship with him. You're still trying to redeem the time and trying to make a correction for everything that you did in the past, and it's too late. Because once a man feels that he is not respected and he is not honored, and that you can't trust him, guess what? He'll do whatever he wants to do. He'll cheat on you. He'll go out and have, other women, and he'll still leave you responsible for taking care of him. Because this man feels very comfortable having her take care of him, take care of his sons. He respects her as a mom, but as a woman, as a helpmeet, as someone who's supposed to be leading him to the tree of life, he knows that she is not able to do that. And another thing that I had talked to the person we were talking about, because we was going back and forth, they disagree with what I'm saying. It's all good. What's up, boo? You know who you are. They disagree with what I said, but I even brought up the situation where he told her, about Karen Huger, when she had reached out and said that she was talking with Karen Huger, and he was like, you know what, leave that alone. And she did leave it alone. She went to the press conference, and you know what, you reap what you sow. Now here it is, you and your husband were in the same situation, and instead of you being that sister girl, that ride or die chick that's gonna hold your man down and hold your friend down, you go to a party with two people and you talk about her like a dog. You bring her information up when she called you and trusted you and gave her your heart. Look, if you could not be that loyal ride or die chick, you shouldn't even have accepted the telephone call. It just, like seriously, it is what it is. This woman is going to always and forever be trying to correct that mistake that she made. She knows that that mistake that she made is what caused her, and I'm making assumptions, but I'm assuming that she knows that that mistake is what was the straw that broke the camel's back in the relationship between her husband. And she is trying to chase after that and trying to redeem that, trying to do that over again. And guess what? At this point, it's too late to do that over again. You've already emasculated your husband. You took all of his money and squandered it to one of your friends, and you can't get it back. And it is hard to recover. And he works at Cumberland University in Baltimore. And let me tell you something. You're talking about the hood. And they're sitting up there saying, it's always been his dream to, be at this university and stuff like that. But like this, with the college that he is working at is like up in bang, bang, chitty bitty, chitty chitty, bang, bang, shootout city. Like you talking about the hood, you are talking about the hood. So you're telling me that your husband, after having a successful basketball career, or ex-husband, after having a successful career as a basketball player, now he wants to go and work in the hood of all hoods at one of the, what is it, a D3 school, D2, D3 school? Come on, that's not your husband's dream. But because everything that you all had was ripped away because you decided that you wanted to be the Lord and the King over your house. Women, we can't Lord and King over our house. Like we can. We're not built like that. We're not built like that. And a lot of women who know who they are as women and know the power and the authority that they have as women, they use it to manipulate men. See, there's a very thin balance about, there's a very thin balance that we have to walk, a very thin line we have to walk as women, not to be manipulators, not to manipulate and control our situation. Just by being birthed and being woman. Okay, you already have that authority over your husband to influence him to the tree of life, because that's why God created us. He created us to be influencers. He created us to be nurturers. He put all of that stuff in us, because if he wanted Adam to be that, he'd have gave it to him when, you know what I'm saying? He'd have gave it to him. And you know, and so, and the things about it is that God wants us to not only be influencers, but he created our bodies to be pleasant and our beauty to be pleasant to men, so that, you know what, it'll go down a little smoother. Well, we have to tell them, you know what, baby, I think that's a bad decision. I think that, you know, we need to think this out as a family. And I think that, you know, you're jumping ahead of the game. You know what, he's given us those little hips and stuff like that, you know, that old stuff that they see in the back, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's given us. YouTube, are you serious? Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Let's get serious and fall in love. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Okay, so YouTube is acting up, y'all. So anyway, God has created us. He's created us already with a certain amount of influence over our men anyway. You don't have to manipulate a man to get what it is you want to get out of him. We have to learn as women how to use that power and that authority that God has given us to encourage our men and to love him at the same time, to respect him and allow him to walk in his kingship and his lordship. That's another conversation for another day. But what I want to talk about really, you know, so after we see, you know, Karen Huger, who is honoring her husband and not throwing him up underneath the bus, not talking about him, not running on around town, tearing her husband down like the average woman do. You know how women do. They tear their husband down. And then, you know, the next thing you know, they don't want you to say nothing about him. Well, Karen is being wise and not saying anything. We look at Monique. Monique is with, you know, her husband, and he's, you know, wonderful and everything. But as I was talking to the person again today, Monique needed to watch her back. Point blank and simple. She's walking around talking about how busy she is and how much money she has and how, you know, she's just so tired and, you know, she needs a nanny and, you know, she's out there in the backyard, in her backyard. She doesn't have to walk to a park to go to play with her children on the playground. She can do that in the comfort of her own home. And, you know, she's tired and, oh my God, I can't believe I have so many things to do and I just have so much money and I'm just, you know, I'm on this and I'm on that, and basically I'm just hosting day parties and beer parties and let's sit around the pool parties, but you know, she's so busy. But one of the things that I think that she has to realize and recognize is that, you know, she has this man, she's married to this man who's a wonderful man. I think he's an absolutely wonderful man. I think they have a great marriage. That's just from what, you know, they're allowing me to see. But what bothers me about their relationship is the fact that she, you know, the mom called her a witch. Okay. You know, mothers can be like that. I mean, it is what it is. But what bothers me about the relationship and why I think that she needs to watch her back is because if your husband would cut his mother off, the woman who raised him, birthed him, brought him into this world, he would cut her off because she used the word witch. You better be careful to make sure that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Because if anything ever goes down between you and that man, that wonderful man that you have right now who's taking care of everything and got you in a 50,000 square foot home and he's buying all of that stuff for you, let me tell you something, honey. If that man can walk away from his mother and not have honor and respect and love for his mother and a forgiving heart, you know, with his mother, let me tell you something. Anything ever go down with y'all, let me tell you, honey, that's what you got. That's exactly what you got. Yeah. Because if he can treat his mama like that, the one who was used as a birth canal, the one who was used to nurture him and carry him through everything, if he can treat her like that, he can definitely pay you dust. You need to watch it, boo. Because let me see what's going on out here. Absolutely nothing, G. She says, Auntie, you are speaking the truth. She's in a scary place and doesn't have a clue. Tierra Dickinson 2012 said, but his mama seems like another Mama Joyce. But guess what? That's his mama. At the end of the day, you couldn't complete that sentence without saying mama. That's his mama. And they may have had other problems in the relationship between him and his mama, but at the end of the day, that's his mama. And if he can walk away from his mama, he absolutely can walk away from her. I'm just saying, open your eyes up. Here it is, she, as far as what we can see, is encouraging her husband to have this relationship with his mother, to reconcile the relationship. And he's not. So if something goes down with them, and another woman is coming in and saying, you know what, you need to reconcile, he's still that stubborn man. I don't know about you, but I definitely would pick my man based on how he treated his mother. If I pick a man and he doesn't have any respect, no love, no compassion, no empathy, no forgiveness, no relationship with his mother, the hell I want him for? Because you're only going to treat me as good as you treat your mother. Now, there are circumstances where men have been hurt and damaged by, their mom. The mom haven't been in the home. But for the most part, people are loving and forgiving with their mama, no matter how trifling they are. Look at the boys that was on the Jan Levon's aunt, the 7 sons. Even though their mother had been cracked out and everything else, the only thing that they really desired still was that relationship with their mother. Why the hell would I be with somebody? Y'all got, that's my gym bag, y'all. Why the hell would I be with somebody who doesn't have any love and respect, compassion for their mama? You mean to tell me that you can't pick up that phone and say, Mama, I didn't like what you said? I mean, at the least, he's not a communicator. I'm just saying. Because that mommy calling her a wench, that's an easy subject to communicate on. Don't call my wife a wench. That ain't hard. It's not hard to say that. So what happens in situations where things get hard and they get rough? And as we see from the previews, it appears that they've already had some rough patches and going through counseling. That's probably why she wanted to throw him the 50th birthday party, which I thought was nice, by the way. I thought it was nice that they had the white t-shirt on the jeans. Just really relaxed and chilled out. I don't know where my invitation was to it, but I digress and we move on. I'm just saying, if a man doesn't love and respect his mama, I got an issue with that. And I'm going to watch how you treat your mama. And even with the situations that's going on, I still want to see how you regard your mama. What's the respect level that you have for women? I want to know what that is. And then we move on to our girl, Candace, who's the new cast member. I'm going to reserve judgment about her and her, or boyfriend or fiance or whatever the hell they are. I'm going to reserve because, I'm not really feeling Candace. And that's not to say that I won't be feeling Candace, but I'm really not feeling Candace at all. Yeah, and then her boyfriend jumps off the balcony, because he done got himself into a really quick bromance, and so he jumps the hell off of somebody's balcony, standing his big ass up on the rail, because, the rails could have, folded, and he didn't know what material they was really made out of, but you go to somebody's house for the first time, and you jump the hell off their balcony, and it's okay. 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 All right. And then, We see our girl Giselle, with her her Sherman. I say, you know what? Do you? Do you? I think that it's too early for her daughters to be involved in that relationship. She's been with the man a year. If they're not really moving towards being in a serious relationship, the kids just don't get introduced. It just is what it is. The conversations that she's having with her daughters, I think, they're too young to have those conversations with her. I think that some of the things that she says, she needs to just be, a little mindful. She said that he just wants the two F's, and we know what those two F's are. Feed him, and you know what I'm saying. And I just think that, some of that stuff, her daughter's going to be looking at, and I think that she needs to be sure about what kind of story she wants to communicate to her daughters later on. She seems like she's happy, but she messy as hell, because when she came to the party and she had, the shirt on, free Uncle Ben, tax reform. I just thought that that was so tasteless and classless, because if you are supposed to be somebody's friend, you just don't do stuff like that. Like, you just don't. And so I'm just kind of, not really feeling her this season in this episode. And I know that, because they're in Potomac, they feel like they have to act a certain way and all of that kind of stuff. But, I just say, just be real about who you really are. One of the things that, that I like about Robin, that besides her, I don't like how she treats her husband. But on a personal note, I do like Robin, because one thing that I can say about Robin is that she true to who she is. And I thought that when Ashley approached her at the pool at Monique's house, I thought that Ashley was basically out of line. Because I don't need you to come up here and tell me how many of affairs my husband has had, who he's had affairs with, and whether or not I should be back with him. And see, and that's why, you don't let women into your business like that. You got to keep some stuff to yourself. You just cannot tell everything. Like, you can't tell everything. Like, you can't. You gotta keep some stuff to yourself. It's none of your girlfriend's business. And I know that a lot of his stuff played out in the media. But I thought she was wrong. And I thought, with Monique, Monique invited her to the party knowing that they was having some, a rift between the two of them. If you wasn't ready to communicate on Monique about that, then don't invite me. Because there should not be an expectation that I come and grin and bear it. And then, too, if Robin knew that she had a problem with Monique, she shouldn't have showed her ass up either. But again, your husband made a comment to you about not really going, and you went anyway. So it's like, I see why he ignores her and doesn't really take the time out to really invest in her. Because she going to take what he say and not hear it anyway. It just is what it is. As beautiful as she is, I just think, I don't know what her background is as far as having a male figure in her life, but she just doesn't have any respect for what her husband says. She just wants him to be a sounding board, somebody to listen to her. Like, girl, bye. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up with our girl Ashley. Ashley, the judgmental asshole. See, Ashley can judge everybody's situation, right? And she can talk about, what's going on with everybody. But you know what? You got all that dirty laundry at your house. You got stuff that's burning up on your damn stove. But you quick to judge somebody else's stuff. And then the little shady ass comment that you made about Candace. See, first you was talking about, when you first introduced her, you was talking and you was like, yeah, she was Miss USA. And then all of a sudden, the next time that y'all get together with Monique, because you see her and Monique kind of, Candace and Monique kind of gelling, then you're going to send a shady ass comment and talk about, when she was in the pageants and everything, but, she wasn't like me. And, I guess it was USA, USA district, regional, See, Ashley, you appear to have married that man for money. And you playing him and your mother playing you. Because at the end of the day, you ain't taking care of your mama, you taking care of that man. That man your mama been with for 15 years, You taking care of him, not your mama. Because see, your mother has got you pimped out, boo. But you pimping out your husband. And so we see you working all around in the restaurant and all of that kind of stuff. And, you trying to look like, you about that life and you got it going on and everything. You sitting up there, the staff, the restaurant staff don't like your ass. You walking around there prissing and pressing, you know what I'm saying? You cute, you got cute little shape and everything, but you're not all of that. You're really not. And your husband's money is what's making you anything. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a native Washingtonian. I ain't never met your ass. I don't know who you are. But I mean, I digress because I don't run around in that socialite kind of circle. I don't pimp myself out for rich men and stuff like that. Maybe I should, but I don't. But I ain't got no judgment. Ain't no judgment. You know what I'm saying? Get your papers the way you get your papers. But the thing about it is you don't drag nobody else along. And here it is, when we met you and your mother the first season and everything, you was sitting up there, your mother was acting like she was sick and, she had this and a disability for that. I believe that. Now, I don't know. Y'all correct me down in the comments. But I could have sworn in the first season that the mother was acting like, she was damn near dying. And so, as a result of that, she couldn't work. And so now when we see your husband put your ass out until you get out my house and he puts his foot down and let you know, boo, you was only $1 away from being homeless. $1 away. See, that's the thing about it. When you pay to lay and you lay to play and you lay to pay, and I ain't saying that's what Ashley's doing. I'm just saying if you lay to play and you play to lay and you pay to lay and you get paid to lay and you expect pay for the lay, at any time that can change because you haven't created anything for yourself. Because at some point that thing ain't going, you know what I'm saying? That thing ain't going to be like it was. What are you doing as far as your career? So, okay, you're doing like little charity events. No, step your game up. Because when he put you out that house and you was all devastated and everything, he let you know right then and there. I'm the HBIWC in charge. He let you know. See, you pimping him out to take care of your mother's boyfriend. Your mother been with this man for 15 years. You marry him, and you expect him to be your mama's sugar daddy? Or your stepfather or step boyfriend sugar, like whose sugar daddy is he? See, because a lot of men don't mind being your sugar daddy. They got issue when they got to be everybody's sugar daddy. And that mama, if this is what's going on, she need to be ashamed of herself. To pimp your daughter out when you got a man laying up in your house. I will never forget when I was first trying to get on my feet. I had just bought my first property. And I was trying to get on my feet with my daughter. And I had a supervisor who took an interest in me and my child and our success. And her husband came over and basically furnished my first place. And I'm not talking about first apartment, I'm talking about first property. And they came over and they were so happy for me and happy that I was moving on. I had just bought a car and, life was good. And I never forget when she was leaving out the door. She let her husband go out to the truck and everything, and she lagged behind. And she looked me squared up in my face. And she said, as long as you got that man in your house, I will never do another thing for you. See, because I was like Ashley's mother. I didn't tell my whole story. I I didn't even realize that I needed to tell my whole story to somebody who was helping me furnish my house. And so when she said that thing to me, I realized, well, God dang. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. It rubbed me all the wrong way. For so many, so many different reasons, it rubbed me the wrong way. But it was a wake-up call. And you know what? She never helped me. As long as he was there. If I had to come to work and take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and cut that sucker into fourths and eat 1/4 for breakfast, 1/4 for lunch, another 4 for dinner, and the other 4 for a snack so that I could sleep at night so that my stomach wouldn't be in the back of my back. That's what she made me do. Because you know what the Bible says, if a man don't work, he won't eat. And here it is, you're eating, you're living, and you're doing everything, and you're taking care of a man that your mama is enabling to be trifling. I'm just saying. You are enabling somebody else to enable somebody else. Off your back. Off your back. And nobody wins when a man is in the home and he's eating off of a woman's back. How is that the order of God? When did God ordain that? Adam tilled the garden. Adam named and took care of the animals. Adam did that. So when a woman steps into a place of Adam, you are out of the divine order and purpose for your life. You were not created as a woman, walking in the roles of a woman. And I'm talking about heterosexual. Because I'm not judging anybody's life. So I don't want anybody to come on my channel and get it twisted. But if you are walking in the roles of a heterosexual woman, you were not created to carry the duties and the responsibilities of an Adam. You were burned on everybody. Been there, done it. Got the t-shirt and the scars. But I'm not who I was because I had women in my life who did not enable me. And they wanted to help me. They had helped me until they found out I had that raggedy ass man. And they wanted more for me, more for my daughter, than for me to continue to live like that. So they said, we your village and we out. As long as you got that man in your house, bitch, you'll never get nothing else from us. And it wasn't until everything hit the fan and everything went wrong and I had to get, you know, some things taken care of. Y'all know my story. That I began and I put him out and I got him out of my life once and for all, that the windows of heaven opened up to me. But it wasn't without struggle. Hell yeah, it was uncomfortable. And those women, that village, rallied around me and my daughter. And I became a stronger woman. I became a woman who could stand up and know who she was. I could walk in everything and every purpose that I was designed and destined to walk into. But I couldn't do it as long as I had this raggedy ass piece of man. And he was a piece of a man. Just one piece. Just that one piece. You know what I'm saying? That one piece. So when I see Ashley risking her marriage to enable someone, I don't blame her husband. You would have to go. We gave your wife, your mom, the house on a contingency. The contingency was, if she gets rid of that man, we'll take care of her. So at this point, the mama has breached her contract. When do you let your hands go, Ashley? Your mother is in breach of contract. I'm in real estate school right now. And if there's a contingency on the contract of that home, I can't sell it until the contingency is fulfilled. Then we make another offer and an acceptance, and then we go to closing and settlement on the home. But as long as there's a contingency there, there's something you have to do. Women, these housewives of Potomac and housewives, it's straight ratchet TV. But you can learn a lot from these situations. We're going to be out here and we're going to discuss this. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube channel, but I see this thing flickering like a mother. And so I'm going to cut it off before it cuts us off. But we're going to have some real talk. We really going to talk about some things because some things need to be said. The Housewives of Potomac, for me, is just the hizzle for sizzle. He should, ooh, God, he was foul. She does. And you know what? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Is that Angela J? She said Ashley's mom seems more like Ashley's girlfriend. And let me tell you, if Giselle does not change her relationship with her daughters, it's going to be the same way for them. Same exact way for them. Absolutely, Mina. I would have told you not to go to the Willard. It's a famous landmark. It's beautiful, but you're going to pay out your can, boo. Good night, Miss Michelle. Hey, Josie F. Yes, Miss Michelle, 15 years with him. We're going to be discussing this stuff, y'all. Like, we really going to be getting down and dirty and funky with the thing. And I know that, you know what, if this is your first time being here, I know that this review is unorthodox and it is not something that you expected to get out of this channel. And so, you know what, if it's uncomfortable for you or you like a particular format, look at my other reviews and, you know, I stay within the format. But with this one, I really want to talk to the women. And I really want to, you know, to have a real conversation, because it's time out for all this pussyfooting and these BS YouTube channels that's not talking about everyday situations and helping people out. Like I'm tired now. 90 Day Fiance, like that's my candy, okay? And I will be talking about that. But even with 90 Day Fiance, it's still a little bit of me that's mixed in between that. I can't because I want your take on Karen leg all up in his and this man in her car. Thank you, Josie. We're going to talk about it. Thank you so much, y'all. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook because this is, I hate to say this, but this is going to be the first and the last time that I do it on here. All of the reviews that will be on Housewives of Potomac, because of the nature and the contents that we're going to be talking about, they will be done on Keisha Brown. And I look so forward to talking to you ladies about that. Keisha Brown on Facebook. Thank you, Sarah. So sufficient. I love my Sarah. I love you all so much. Y'all have a great night. Pray for your auntie. I have a real estate test tomorrow that I gotta take, and I am just praying that I pass it with flying colors. I am Keisha Brown, Chocolate Thunder. Remember, if you've been with me for any time period, you Keisha Brown was one of the names that I used to use when I would go out to the clubs and stuff, and guys would try to holler at me, and I ain't want to holler at them like I wasn't interested in stuff, and that was always my name. My name is Keisha. Oh, okay, Keisha Brown. So I have an opportunity to be incognito on Facebook, and so I decided to do Keisha Brown. I still have my auntie advice. I did log back onto Facebook. I had taken a sabbatical from Facebook for the last 3 months. I am back on that on auntie's advice, but Keisha Brown is going to be where we're going to really be talking about the low down dirty stuff and trying to get our lives together as women. It's time for me to really walk into the role that I'm supposed to be in, and that's one of the roles I'm supposed to be in. But I love you all to pieces, and I hope you all have a great night. I will see you on Tuesday, I believe. Um, yeah, and we'll talk about Married at First Sight. Hopefully, I'll be able to get up in the morning and do it. Does anyone who doesn't have Facebook make a page? It doesn't have to be fancy to join a group. Long as you know it's you, I will let you in the group. Okay. Love you all. Y'all have a great night. Mwah.